Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Bohicaville Today. Today is Thursday, October 3rd, 2013. I'm Paul, and I got a couple things to discuss tonight. And the first thing is the Capitol Hill shooting this afternoon. Um, it seems a little bit strange to me that it took the police so long after the media already reported that this woman had been killed for the police to actually report it. And I don't know, for some reason, to me, that smells a little bit. And it's very early in the story, so we don't really know a lot of details yet. Um, but the indications are so far that she was living a fairly normal life in Connecticut and then suddenly went off her rocker. So I'm sure that it's going to come out that she was on some kind of under some kind of psychiatric care, or perhaps on some psychiatric medications. I'm not sure, but I don't think that what we have so far is the whole story. Uh, it doesn't look like the woman had a gun. It's unclear why she was trying to evade police. I don't know. The whole thing just doesn't seem right to me. And the other thing that doesn't seem right is that if this were an ordinary car chase in an ordinary city, it would not involve four different police agencies and dozens of cars and SWAT teams and military gear coming out. An ordinary car chase in an ordinary town would probably involve between 2 and 4 squad cars from one department. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it is that big of a deal in Washington, D.C., because I guess the politicians, they just need more protection than the rest of us do. Um, I guess they're just a little bit more special. And speaking of special, Speaker of the House John Boehner and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid um, definitely think they're special, since they were secretly cutting a deal behind the scenes throughout this whole Affordable Care Act fight in order to make sure that Congress was exempt from participating in the Affordable Care Act. So, again, it's good enough for the American people, but not good enough for Congress, because they're just a little bit more special than we are. Um, there's also a story about the FBI shutting down the shoot, what's the name? The Bitcoin site. Um, Hang on a second. Silk Road. I forgot the name there. I had to check. The Silk Road site. And the reason that they're giving for shutting it down is because they were allegedly selling illegal drugs through this Silk Road network. Uh, However, what it really was a true free marketplace, which we do not have in this country. Um, if we had a truly free marketplace, we wouldn't have all the problems that we have right now. But since Silk Road was a true free marketplace, it had to be shut down. But they're not going to shut down freedom that easily, because freedom is like a steamroller. It'll just keep coming and coming and coming, and it will just keep rolling no matter what. What we really have in our society now, or at least in our American society, is a neo-fascist corporatocracy, um, which is to say that there's a merging of government and business, and government and business together are conspiring to control all the rest of us and to control the entire planet. But I really think freedom is still going to prevail. Um, Maybe it won't happen in my lifetime, but eventually it will. But it won't last because all the periods of freedom that we've had in history have shown that it doesn't last. We're always start out with freedom, and then we end up with tyranny, and then we go back to freedom, and then back to tyranny. And it's just a constant cycle, freedom to tyranny, freedom to tyranny. Right now, we are getting into the tyrannical period, which means that this period will be followed by a period of freedom. And like I said, I don't know when that is. I don't know whether it will be in my lifetime. I don't know whether it will be in the lifetime of anyone who's watching this, but it will happen eventually. And tyranny will happen eventually once again also, unfortunately. So, finally, I have one final thought for tonight, and this is about the partial government shutdown. And it's just a question. Uh, if the government didn't have enough people to keep the World War II memorial open, then how is it that the government had enough people to send security forces out to keep World War II veterans out of the World War II memorial? I'd just like to know an answer to that question. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm Paul. This is Bohicaville. Ciao.